Well, hello everyone who's ever out there. This is Mary. This is my very first show, so please bear with me. I want to thank Tiffany from Goldylocks Production for that beautiful intro that she put together for me. It's fabulous, and I really appreciate it. I see that I have Joyce on with me. Thank you for being here, Joyce. Listened to me last night. I had the opportunity of being a guest on Robin's show, Cosmic Soul Food, I believe is the name of it. Awesome energy, awesome person. It was so much fun. I've done 2 different shows with the Goldylocks family. I did Marcia Reichert's show, Enlightened Heights, of several months ago, and that's actually how I ended up here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am a empath with um, clairaudient and clairsentient gifts primarily. I am an ordained minister with an education in spiritual counseling. Um, I also have a background in nutrition and fitness, hence the title Wellness Mary, Nourishing Mind, Body, and Soul. My show is going to be a collaboration of a little bit of everything that I do. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm open to comments and suggestions and topics that people would like to see. I'm hoping to have more guests than not because there's so much knowledge out there. And that's really the purpose why I'm here on this platform. Uh, Someone once told me that not sharing is really robbing other people, because when you have something to give, you need to share it to give it to others. And my journey has been long, not so easy. I was my own worst enemy through most of it, but they were the greatest lessons that I learned by putting myself in not such good situations. We all have a journey. We come in alone, we leave alone. We occasionally have people that walk by our side during the journey, some for a long time, some for a short time, but everyone has a purpose. It's that, hello, Ruth. Thanks for joining. It's that season, reason, or lifetime. So you just have to continue to flow. One of the things that I really, truly teach and learned. Thank you, Ruth. She congratulated me for my show debut. I'm a little nervous, but I'll get through it and it'll get easier, I'm sure, as you probably well know. So the one thing that I really have come to learn and that I teach with my counseling clients, when I do lectures, is about stepping into your own personal power, having that unconditional love for self first. We need to have that in order to stand true in our own divinity, in our truth, being able to set boundaries with everyone, all types of relationships. Joyce says she can relate. She used to hate women and the woman in the mirror, and now I love me. I've grown, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful journey, and embrace yourself. Hi, Melinda. Thank you for joining. This is great. I'm loving this. It's great. So that's the key. A lot of times I'll get people that come to me for readings, and they're always about relationships. When am I going to meet that person? When am I going to find the right man or right woman? When you get right. And the key there, the secret there, is that when we're seeking outside ourselves for that happiness, that love, and that joy, it is never there because it's dependent on someone else. That's what we have to find within ourselves, that happiness, that joy, that unconditional love. And then when you have that, when you meet the people that you meet and you bring in, it's to enhance that and to share that. It's not about completing you. You should be complete before you meet the person. When a relationship ends, when it runs its course, you won't end up feeling lost because you weren't solely dependent on someone else. You'll still have yourself. You'll mourn the death of the relationship, the companionship, but you'll still have you, and you'll readjust and find that truth within yourself. It took me a long time to get that. For a long time, I self-medicated. I did a lot of things early on, partially because I had these gifts, didn't understand them, very empathic, picking things up, a lot of confusion. I'm sure there's many of you out there that can relate to that. And self-worth was in the toilet, and I confused lust for love. And I went from one thing to another, to another, to another, one man to another, not thing. Well, some of them may have been categorized as things because I really found some of the bottom of the barrel. But that's where I was. I was swimming down low in the bottom of the barrel with the bottom feeders. And by the grace of God, I opened up and accepted this journey. One thing that I can say, that even in the darkest depths, I always had my faith. I was raised a Catholic. I have happily recovered from that and the guilt that went along with it. But I still consider myself as a Christian. I'm presently studying Christian spiritual counseling. I have felt that it was that faith. When I didn't have faith in me, I still always had faith in God. And believe me, there were times I went to Mass on Sunday and I was coming in from the night before, but I had that loyalty for whatever reason. And it was back in, I want to say like 2005, 2006. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I had left New Jersey and moved to the west coast of Florida and went to St. Petersburg Beach. And it was a real awakening for me. Number one, I felt that I needed to grow and change, and I couldn't do it staying where I was my whole life. And I was there and I was looking for jobs, and everything didn't feel right. So I can remember going up to the beach and sitting there with tears rolling down my cheeks. And I said, "Dear Lord, I know you have a plan for me, and it's something greater than these jobs. I am yours. Show me how. Show me the way." And things started to change. Not quickly, not easily, but people started to come into my life that taught me what I needed. I met my Reiki master while I was in Florida. Beautiful energy, beautiful human being. He counseled me. He helped me. He spent many long time conversations on the phone with me. And it was a great opportunity meeting him, but that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't open to it and didn't ask for it. The angels and the divine, the guides, they're there, but they come in only when they're welcomed and when they're asked. And that was the breakthrough for me. And I was doing the nutrition and the fitness. So I had a practice in Florida for a little while. And as I was working with the Reiki master, I started to open up to my gifts again that I had blocked for many years. And all of a sudden I started having these young girls come in asking about life, looking for guidance. And then I hear my guide saying, "It's time. You need to step up." So that's when I started to make the complete change. And it wasn't until I moved to South Carolina 7 years ago that I revamped my website. I came out of the psychic closet, no longer worrying about what other people think or judgment. And it's very freeing. Joyce says, "I've been single a decade and I'm content. I'm trying to go inside to find who I am and find it difficult." It takes time, Joyce. And she's a former heroin addict and Reformed Christian who loves and adores Yahweh and always have a loving God and wouldn't fry you like bacon for eternity. I like that. Yeah, I really believe that God is a loving God, a forgiving God, not a punishing God, not the way we're taught. It's not fire and brimstone. I believe we create our own brimstone and fire. And I lived through that. I really have. But it takes time. And it's funny that you said that you've been single for so long. I was in a thrift store, which is one of my favorite places to shop because I love treasure hunting. And there was a book in there. I didn't buy it, but it was Happily Single in a Couple's World. I thought, wow, that's me. I am happily single in a couple's world. Hi, Robin. Hello, beautiful souls. I was listening while I drive. I really enjoyed having you on my show last night. Thank you, Robin. I really enjoyed being on your show, and I'm going to return the favor and have you here, because it's. I gotta admit, it's a little weird just talking to the laptop here and not face to face with people. I'll get used to it, I'm sure. I relate. I was my own worst enemy. I think we all are. It's like we're prisoners of our own minds, our thoughts. And when you really break it down, all of that comes from the false program beliefs, the things that we've been fed from childhood, because it's, we develop that subconscious programming from birth to, I believe it's age 7. And that's where all those negative tapes and self-talk come in, is in the subconscious mind. And it's put in there from the past, from people. And then all of a sudden we are judging ourselves as something that we're not. It's like, it's time. Let's wake up and let's see who this divine soul, this beautiful being is. Mike Connor, hey, how you doing? It's someone I know from my hometown in South Amboy, New Jersey, who I haven't seen in many, 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 many years. Hope all is well with you, Mike. Thanks for being here. That's exciting. So yeah, it's like we really have to step into that divine grace, or what we have been put here. We all have been put here for a purpose, and that's part of the journey. I'm glad you're doing well, Mike. It's that unconditional self-love that we have to connect to. When we come in, we're these beautiful, innocent, loving children, and we trust that everything is going to be provided for us. And then we're raised by parents that have been programmed by the society, and the chain keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Where it all began, who knows? It could have started in the Garden of Eden with the original sin, that temptation of the apple, because that gave us sin, and that gave us the gluttony and all the power, the hunger for power that goes on. And last night on Robin's show, I had mentioned about, look at our society. We're a society of consumers, and we overconsume. It's all about stuff, and we place value on ourselves by the things that we have achieved and the things that we have, and that's not what it's about. It's about divine intention. It's about love, kindness, sharing with one another, uplifting each other. I heard Deepak Chopra say one time, we are here to love, create, and evolve. I like to add uplift to that. But truly, that's what we're here for. But it has to start with ourselves. And then we are able to reach our hand out and help others up. And that's the purpose of me being here, the purpose of my show. I wake up in the morning and I start my day in prayer and meditation. And I always ask to be shown how I may be of service today, that the right people find me, that I can help in any way I can. And it's by creating that ripple effect of what we want to see. Gandhi with the be the change that you seek, or however, I'm sure I'm not saying that verbatim, but it starts with us. If we want to make the changes of what's occurring in the world, it's not going fighting and protesting. It's being the change, spreading the love, sharing with one another, being honest, compassionate, understanding, non-judgmental. It's so much hatred, so much anger, and it spreads like wildfire. Well, why don't we spread love and compassion like wildfire? Why do we focus on the negative? Even look at the programming that's on TV these days. All these reality TV shows, it's all drama. And we get high on that. Joy. That's right, Joyce. Joy. Joy, grace, all those wonderful things. Robin says, self-love is very, very important. I hate it myself and long to be home. I realize I have my home inside of me. Amen, sister. That's right. You're always home where your heart is, and your heart is within, along with your soul. And that's truly who we are, is that soul, because this body, this shell that houses the soul will die off, but the soul will live on. So that's what we truly want to stay connected to. We all have had traumas, one type or another. PTSD is not just for military or people that have had extreme trauma. It's created in the smallest ways, just by being belittled or negative talk. Hi, Marsha. So glad you can make it. How was your plasma giving? Marsha just joined and she was giving plasma. She texted me and said she was hoping to make the show. So to get back to the PTSD, we all have had our traumas. And I realized the more that I shared about myself to others, the more helpful it was. Growing up, I can remember mom saying, don't air out your dirty laundry. No one went for therapy. Nobody talked about anything. And you swept it under the rug. Well, internalizing it becomes combustion, and it's like you explode. What are you going to do? You need to go in and work through it all. And you're not alone. No one's alone. Hi, Richard. Thanks for joining. I don't know if you're up to go to work or what, but I heard you work third shift. So I am very grateful that you made it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So as I said, as I started to share myself with others, even back when I did personal training, which was another part of my journey because I battled with my weight and obesity. I was very heavy as a child. Part of my adulthood, I struggled. And so when I became a personal trainer, when I started to share that part of me, I noticed that I did better for others. And I continue to do that in counseling. Spiritual counseling is not like traditional counseling. I don't label, put you in a box. It's more about awakening to the soul, clearing out all the clutter, clearing out all the garbage that you pack away so neatly. You tuck it away so you don't have to deal with it. And we go layer by layer. It's like peeling the onion. Get to the root. Let's clear it out. Let's forgive, bless, and release. That's not so easy to do sometimes. The forgiveness part, some people struggle with. It's like you want to hold a grudge. You want to get even. That's a human nature thing. But when we start to live more from the soul than the ego, things are easier because you realize that that's the stuff that doesn't matter. It's relationships. It's just, beautiful connections. Robert's here. He joined us. Hello, Robert. Thank you. Again, I think you have a crazy work schedule, and I appreciate that you've found the time to join me. I am very excited to be here, and I might ramble a little bit just because I'm getting used to it. I have so many things I want to talk about, so many topics, and I don't want to be like all over the map. So I'm trying to stay on one thing, and that's really about personal growth and self-love today, because it really all stems from there, and we move forward from that place. Going back and looking at the past, I mean, it's nice to have memories and revisit even things that aren't so pleasant to see how far we have come. But we don't want to go back there, long for it, unpack, live there, because that is the stuff that creates depression. And when we project too much into the future, that's where the stress, worry, fear, all that comes in. Anxiety. Anxiety, I believe, is just another name for fear, actually. So it's staying in the now, staying in the moment and appreciating it. Waking up, first thing, opening your eyes and giving thanks. It's another day. How great is that? To have an opportunity to grow and to love and to experience and to meet new people and learn new things. There's so much out there. There's so many different ethnic groups and cultures to learn from and to study. It's exciting. I mean, I always have my nose in a book. I just love to learn. By learning, I can share more. It's just been nonstop. When I was in school, though, high school, grade school, I didn't want to learn. I didn't have the understanding of that. It was like, why am I doing this? Especially algebra. I used to say, tell me where I'm going to use this in life. Always bucking the system, always fighting. And part of it, I think, is really who made me who I am today. Because even in a Catholic school, I had art class. I believe it was sophomore year, and we were doing mosaics with cutting up magazines. And I did the manger scene, and I put a darker skinned baby Jesus in the manger. And Sister Carol J came over, and she's looking at it, and she's looking at me with that stern Catholic nun face. And I looked up at her and I said, where does it say that he is white? And where he comes from, he most likely was this color. And she just shook her head and walked away because she couldn't debate me because she didn't know. Mike Connor, I get you. PTSD from Huffman. Huffman was our high school. Yeah, we came from a pretty rough tumble town, didn't we? It's a great little city, but there was a lot going on there and a lot of drugs. But we made the choices. Not everybody in that town was on drugs. It's just was the way it was. It was the way the pack was. And in the days when we went to school, it's very confusing times. It's a very confusing times all the time. I wouldn't want to be in high school today. I wouldn't want to be raising a child today. I look at my grandchildren. It's just insane. It's really insane what's going on. But I believe in divine order. And when you believe in divine order, everything is in divine order. And even the stuff that doesn't make sense, it's divine order. Some people don't get the understanding of that. But, when we look at evolution, and like I said earlier, we're here to love, create, and evolve. When you go back in history, when major evolution happened, there was major destruction or disruption that occurred before that evolution happened. And I really feel that that's where we are today in this society, in this world, in our country. I spoke last night on Robin's show a little bit about Pluto and Pluto's return, and Pluto's job is to raise up all the negative, expose it, and move it out. And it's happening collectively in the world, but it's also happening on an individual level. And I think it's tonight, but then I've also heard it's tomorrow is the new moon and the eclipse. So there's a lot that was changing now. And when you look at the planetary alignments and everything that's happening, it's almost you get this feeling of you're stuck in the portal, or in the doorway. Like, am I staying? Am I going? And I feel like that's where most people are right now. If you're feeling that, please put something in the comments, because I feel like a lot of people are experiencing change, and they're uncertain about what's going on. And it's not just with what's going on in the world, in the financial world, and all the other things that are happening. But I'm not an astrologer. I find astrology very fascinating. several years ago, while counseling, I started to notice a pattern in clients. And I was like, even though their cases were completely different, there were patterns in emotion at certain times. And I started to look at the moon and the moon cycles. And it really made a lot of sense. And if you've ever been in the emergency room on the night of a full moon, it really does make sense how it affects. It's chaotic energy, Joyce says. Yes, very chaotic. That's, again, Joyce, that is why being connected to your soul truth, your divinity, and grounded in whatever your faith is so important, because then it's like a deeply rooted tree. You can weather the storm. And, I always say that once you find that and you're rooted firmly, and you realize that the crap that's happening is outside of you and not within you, you can weather the storm. But if you're not grounded, you don't have a faith, you're just kind of fluttering around, you don't have that connection to your divinity, you're like a plastic bag. Yes, it's nuts, Marcia said. It is nuts. And you know what? I'm getting kind of tired of it. I don't know about y'all, but I am. So that's what we have to hang on to, though, is that deeply rooted faith in whatever, I choose to call my higher power God, universal energy. It's whatever you believe, because there is only one creator that connects us all. That soul energy. It's energy. We're all energy. If you don't know who Bruce Lipton is, I recommend that you look him up. He's fabulous. He talks a lot about the energy, epigenetics. He's a scientist that kind of got kicked out of the science world because of his beliefs about that. But it's truth. And when I mentioned about the subconscious mind and the programming at a young age, he goes into how to change that. You have to get into that theta state of brainwaves, like when you're falling asleep. So get like iPods, whatever they're called, earbuds, that's it, earbuds, and find some like self-hypnosis or meditations that you can fall asleep to that help shift your subconsciousness. I do an exercise with clients of a gratitude journal, writing down 10 things every day that you're grateful for. And it's surprising how people really struggle with that, because they think of, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I have that job. Like I had mentioned earlier about, we become a society of consumers and we value ourselves on stuff instead of getting up and going outside and looking out at the beautiful clouds or listening to the birds and having gratitude for that. So that the exercise is to get into that gratefulness for every little thing in life and write 10 things down a day. And before you go to bed at night, when you're laying there, the last thing to do is read the gratitude journal. Read those things that you're grateful for. So then as you're falling asleep, you're thinking of all these things that you're grateful for instead of all the worries, all the concerns, the job, the bills, the this, the that. And you start to slowly shift that subconscious mind. And I say slowly, and it's work, it's practice. It's like anything, you want to learn an instrument, you practice. You don't just pick it up and learn and you play beautifully. It all takes practice and time. Mainly be kind and gentle with yourself while you're doing your inner work, while you're making these changes and these shifts. And it's not easy when you have outer environments. If you're living in a house that is toxic, there's a lot of things, and all we have control over is how we respond to those things. We can't change everything. We only can change ourselves and the way we respond. And that's not easy. But the saying that, like with addicts and they hit their bottom, I think we get to a point. It's like when I was saying about me being on the beach in St. Pete Beach, I was at my bottom. I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore. enough's enough. There's got to be something better. Got to be something better. I'm reading because there's something scrolling along this screen, and I see that Goldylocks production put something up there about tips are greatly appreciated, which they are, because it helps me to be able to keep going on the show and do the work that I do. I will do messages for people today if they would like. Just put a comment in there. Also, I all my services are on my website, which Tiffany has put the link up there. You can go on there and schedule appointments with me right on the website. Easy peasy. I do offer that free 20-minute consultation call for counseling. And, take advantage of it. I love to talk to people. I love to listen to people. And I offer that because, we're not always the right fit. So sometimes I'll even refer somebody to somebody else because I think that their healing modalities and their techniques might be a better fit for them than I am. Okay. All right, Robert, you'll get a message for sure. I think, did I give you a message last night, Robert? It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you another one anyway. So it's about the fit. There's so many healers, great readers, great psychics out there. There are so many different modalities. Go with what resonates with you. And we're bombarded now. You scroll along social media and everybody's selling a program or selling a product that's going to fix everything. And, you really have to trust in yourself. Melinda, I know you. I just clicked. I said hi to you when you came on before, but now I clicked. I know you. We met. I don't remember what event it was that I was doing, but I did a reading for you, and then I did another reading for you. I remember you very well. Thank you again for being here. Speaking of events, I do events a lot of weekends. Not every weekend, but this coming weekend, I'm going to be in Bowie, Maryland. If you want information about that, you can always send me an email, my email is very easy. It's wellnessmary@gmail.com. Super sticker, Marcia. Thank you so much. I love you, my friends. This is like amazing to try to stay on track and read these. Allentown. Allentown's coming up again. I'll be in Allentown May 20th and 21st. Yes, I am very excited about it. Allentown's a really good event and a great energy. So this weekend is Bowie, Maryland, the Elks Club. And then the following weekend, I'll be in Frederick, Maryland doing the Illuminate Festival. So if you're interested in, keeping up with what I'm doing, I do send out a newsletter pretty much monthly about where I'm going to be with upcoming events. I primarily am in Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania. I do one twice a year in Raleigh, North Carolina as well. I'm looking to expand out more. So this year I seem to have picked up a couple of new ones. I'm actually doing one in New Jersey in September, which will be a first. I have lived in Allentown very close. I have lived in Allentown very close to me. Allentown, PA, Robert, because there's a lot of Allentowns. There's one in New Jersey too. So if you are in that area, look into the Mum Expo. They've been around for a lot of years. It's a great event. I love doing events because I work remotely, so everything's over the phone primarily. I do a little bit of Zoom, not much. I have a few people that come in person here when I am here, and I am in Virginia Beach at the present moment. Been living here, I think it's coming up on 3 years. Actually, I think it was 3 years last month. But anyway, so if you're interested, I can get you on my newsletter. I send that out. But I love doing the events because I get to be in the energy face to face with people. I meet a lot of really good vendors, a lot of really good healers. We are a great community, just like here at Goldylocks Productions. It's wonderful. So you are in PA, Robert. Awesome. Hopefully we'll get to meet in person in May. And the best part about that May event, my niece, Carissa, only lives like 10 minutes from the venue. So I get to stay with her and have a nice visit and do a great event. It's wonderful. And hopefully my niece Brianne will come from New Jersey this time. And if you're listening, Brianne, I expect to see you. I know I'll see you May 6th, but May 6th is my granddaughter's first Holy Communion, which I'm very excited about. I am a grandmother. I have 2 wonderful grandchildren. My granddaughter Ivy is 7. She'll be 8 in July. And my grandson Logan is 5, and he'll be 6 in July. And they are my world right now. They really are. I just spent a fabulous week with them. And we had such a good time. I did go to the beach with them in New Jersey. So they could play in the sand. It was really a nice day. And I grew up there, and I never in my life saw whales off the shore. And we saw whales and dolphins. And it was such a breathtaking moment. It was unbelievable. I was like in awe. And that's what I'm talking about as far as the gratitude journal goes, and being in the moment, being aware of your surroundings, being there. If I wasn't like I am today, if it was 10 years ago, I probably would have been oblivious to that whale being out there. I think there was actually more than one, but it was very, very awesome. It was very awesome. So let's see where I can go now. So when I was talking about that unconditional self-love and connecting to your divine self, everything else starts to change once you get there. It's like, take baby steps. Don't look at the whole picture. It's like that, the staircase. You don't look at all the steps. You look at the first step and then the second step. And that's really what it is. And it's a process of really being kind and gentle with yourself. And if, one day isn't such a great day, well, that's a learning day. It's helping you to grow. There's a friend of mine that always used to say, there's no bad days, they're learning days. And I thought, wow, that's really true. If we choose to look at what the lessons are in the struggles and the tough times, you really get what it's about. We were never promised a safe, easy journey, and this is just what it is. It's the journey, and what we do with it is our choice. We've been given free will, and that free will is up to us. You can make a decision to change, but it's the action and the devotion and the sticking to it that makes the difference. It's like, I listen to people and it's like, well, yeah, I journaled for about 3 days, and then, then I just got high and I kind of stopped, and things are, well, yeah, if you don't make the changes, nothing's going to change. And it's not easy. But if you're struggling, there's so many support groups and so many people out there that are there to help you. So it's your choice to say, yeah, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do this. And right now I'm struggling. So I'm going to pick up the phone and call, a lifeline, or I'm going to get out there and go to a meeting, or whatever it is that you need to do. But that's where the choice is. So we have that free will to follow the old patterns or to make the changes. And that hitting the bottom thing is real, and everybody has a different bottom. And then there are those that I believe that they don't get that here this time around. So they come back again, and we come back until we really get it, till we really get an understanding. I got to take a sip of my tea. My mug says, stir up the gift of God which is in you. which is to Timothy, and I can't see what chapter and verse it is, but it is a Bible verse, and I love it. I love how when you can open a book, and it's not just the Bible, it could be any uplifting book, and you just kind of fall to the page. And it's the same thing with, if you read tarot or you use oracle cards. I don't necessarily read cards. I receive messages when I shuffle cards. I'll put them out when I do readings, because sometimes I'm guided to look at them. But I used to use grace cards, and I'd put them out after a reading, and I'd let the person pick a card, and it never failed. The message on that card was always about what came in at the reading. And there are no coincidences. That's how the divine works. It's seeing, synchronicities and numbers, or seeing feathers, or finding coins and, pennies in an odd place. They're all signs and symbols, and most people are missing them. So, you really, if the mindfulness is also another thing that's huge. We need to be mindful. We live very mechanically. We don't even realize it. I can remember back when I used to work for the doctors, and I'd get up and go to a regular job and drive in traffic, commuters traffic. There were days that I would end up at the office and I'd be like, I don't even remember making that turn, or, because you're mindlessly doing things. And, some say, well, maybe that's like a meditation. No, it was not meditation. It was more of, projecting and worrying about what was happening next. And I had mentioned that before, about we are always like, projecting into the future, or looking into the past. And that's why we're not being very mindful. So I'm going to go and give, I think it was Richard and Robert that both wanted readings, and Melinda. I don't know. I don't know if it was Richard. I'm looking back on the chat. So just bear with me. If I miss anybody, I will get you next time. All right. So let me, it might not have been Richard. That might have been last night. All right. Let me get into some of Robert's energy. So Robert, I really feel that you have a spiritual team that's really shining down upon you. You have a lot of very powerful energy. I don't know what it is that you do, but I feel like you have great gifts, that you are a healer yourself. And if you are not doing that work, you need to step into it, because they are there. They are there guiding you, showing you the way. And then I just turned the card discontent and boredom. And I feel it's like, because things aren't happening fast enough for you. I hope that makes some sense. I almost feel like I gave you a reading last night. You said, yes, I did. And I feel like that it was very similar to what I just received for you now. I don't necessarily remember. I just dropped a card. So if I shake the table, sorry, I can't get it. Yeah. It's sacrifice. And I love the picture of this, the sacrifice. It's like the warrior. And I feel like that's you. I feel like you're really surrounded with warrior energy, and that you need to really step into that and do that work. I'm curious of what you do. I know that I pretty much think that you have a regular job because of the schedule, but I feel that you're stepping into a new realm, and I just got a new. Oh, Robin, I'm going to Pittsburgh in May or June. Not sure. I don't know much about Pittsburgh, Robin. I hope you're going for something fun. All right, Melinda, you wanted a message, so let me tap into your energy and see what Spirit has for you. So Melinda, I feel like they're giving me like strides, like you're taking leaps now, and making big major changes in your life, headed in the right direction, feeling more confident, more strong with yourself. And look what came out, authority, like you're stepping into your authority. It's it's pretty much the energy of everything that I just spoke about, that you're stepping into that personal power, you're understanding who you are, what you're capable of, what you need to do to get to the next level of awareness and enlightenment. So I hope that makes sense for you. It's been so long, and I don't necessarily remember readings. I do so many, and I don't, because it's really, the messages aren't coming from me, they come through me. So I'll remember you because of conversations we had, but I don't always remember what comes through in the reading. Yes, so what, it makes sense. I hope, I'm very happy, Melinda. I I remember you're a beautiful light. You're very caring, and I do believe that you are a caregiver, a nurse, if I'm not mistaken, or you work in a office, and it makes sense for where you're at. There's some big changes coming your way, my lady. Be prepared, and you deserve it. It's time. It's time. I feel that there's a lot of people out there that message could stand for. There is a lot of coming out of the shadows of the disconnect. So I think we've all got a little bit of disconnect. Speaking of disconnect, and I shared how strong I am in my faith, and I feel that the further our society and our country and the world has gotten away from faith, the worse things have become. And when you think of the horrible school shootings, and prayers for everyone that has been affected by these horrible events, but they started when they removed God, the Pledge of Allegiance, from the schools, and it really makes sense. You take God out, and you really have evil, and we have to get back to the faith, um, and remove the evil and bring the love back, because the confusion is all coming in when that love of God and that groundedness is left. Robert, yes, a regular job warrior energy makes me first think of Norse God, and very good. I don't know how to say that, the Norse God, the TYR. I slaughter the English language. I think it's because I talk out here. I always, when I do readings, it's like, all right, how can I say this? Because it's not the same communication that you and I have. So I kind of stumble over words. I do better, I think, with spirits than I do with earthly life. But I did say to my son last week, or Sunday, they came back. I watched the grandkids from Thursday to Sunday. And I said, you know what? I think I kind of enjoy being with the kids more than I do adults. Because, man, you got to see the life through the eyes of a child. If we can still live like children, dance in the rain, enjoy life. Just because our age has gone up doesn't mean we have to give that up. We really are meant to enjoy life. I lost my husband, and when I met you, you were right on. Oh yes, I remember, Melinda. You were amazing. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much, Melinda. I hope that you're enjoying the show, and that I will see you on future shows. And I hope I see you again in person in Allentown. When I hear this from people, it really keeps me going. It's to be able to make a difference in a person's life. Tier, thank you. Thank you, Marcia. I knew you would know, my little goddess friend. Love seeing you. Thank you, Melinda. I love your energy. So yeah, we need to stay playful. We don't have to, just because we're a certain age, 60, whatever, 50, 40, we still can enjoy life. We can still be fun. My granddaughter, as I'm jumping in the trampoline with her, she says, Mima, you're the funnest grown-up. You and Daddy are the funnest grown-ups. And I was like, yay, because that's what I like. I like to have fun. You were terrific, my buddy. Hey, Lou, thank you for being here. I sent you the link just for you on your Facebook page, because I know how you kind of miss things sometimes. Melissa, oh, hi. Thank you. I'm so happy you're here. I miss talking to you. Hope to see you in Allentown. And justice. Very good, Robert. Yes. And justice. It's, you talk about justice. I live by the law of God, not the law of the land. I also think that that's manipulated. We're supposed to live with just divine love and intention, and not this chaos and all this craziness. And again, when we get away from faith, that's when the evil comes in. And that's what created this snowball effect of needing all these man-made laws and all this. And then the ones that write the man-made laws and preside over them, are they, is it the pot calling the kettle black? I don't know. You tell me. I can't go off on that subject too much, because I can get myself in trouble and boot it off here, I'm sure. We don't want that to happen. No way. So I'm being very cautious. So I really would like to know what topics you would be interested in. And if there's any specialties that you would like, so I can get some special guests in here. Again, my email address is wellnessmary@gmail.com. I welcome you to email me with any topics. If you would like to talk and look into what counseling would be like, go to my website and schedule that free consultation call. And if you want a personal reading, all of that's on my website. Tiffany has posted my website several times. You can find me anywhere. Just Google Wellness Mary. I've been around a long time. Probably, I think it's close to 3 decades now. And in many states, from just what I said today, from New Jersey, lived on the west coast of Florida, South Carolina, now Virginia Beach. And I also lived in New Mexico for a while, and that was in the 80s. But yeah, I'm a little bit of a hippie or gypsy soul, maybe a little hippie in there too. But and it's just I go because of the expansion it gives me. It's like I learn more, I meet more people. It catapults me to the next level. And I questioned why I moved to Virginia Beach. But if I didn't move here, I wouldn't have started doing events. My first event was here in Virginia Beach. I technically was supposed to do one when I was still in South Carolina, and the pandemic happened, so it was canceled. But yeah, and since then, it's just evolved to this level. I also do a Karma Fest in June in Maryland. There's a lot of different ones that I'm doing. But yeah, I hope that you all continue to follow me. I subscribe. There's the VIP for Goldylocks Productions. I'm not quite sure how that works, being a newbie to the family, but I know that there's a Patreon, and you can do, there's a YouTube on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a join. There's a lot of great shows and great show hosts with Goldylocks. Take advantage of that. You get benefits. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what that is because I'm so new. And even after time, I might not know that either because I do a lot of things. So Tiffany is putting up all those links. So if you're interested in any of that, look for the links. Is there anyone else that would like a message, or did I miss somebody? Please just put it in the chat. And yes, Melissa, I do miss talking to you, and I hope that you're doing well. I suspect that you are. And Robin says, yes, Robert, this is where your warrior spirit comes from. See, I knew that. Spirit gave that to me, Robin, that warrior spirit. So, wait a minute, I got somebody. Right, I don't know who this is for, but I have I have a woman that's she wants to make her presence known. I feel that she's giving me that she really suffered in the end. I don't know who this is for. If this is someone you know, it's like she's showing me a lot of like happiness symbols. So whoever this is for, she wants you to know that she's at peace and that, she's not in pain anymore. She no longer struggled. And she's very proud of accomplishments. And I want to say that this is for you, Robin. I feel it's your mom. Really, it's a really good feeling that I'm getting from her. And she just really wants you to know that she's in a good place and she's really happy and she's very proud. Yes, doing well. Thanks. My husband's aunt died recently. She was suffering at the end. Oh, all right. There you go. Could be your aunt, your husband's Aunt Mauricio. I think your husband's name is, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so she's happy. So she did suffer in the end. All right, I am going to pull a divine direction card. Oh, and I love it. And this one must be for you, Marcia. Music. Express yourself by playing instrument or singing. Music will lift your spirit. That is Marcia. And if you do not know her or have seen her show, I recommend that you do. It's Monday nights at 8:00. And she sings. She heals with music. So that one was for you. Thank you so much, everyone. It really was a blast. A little bit nerve-wracking, but I'll get the hang of it. So please, again, send me emails on topics or anything that you would like to have me discuss or bring in guests. Marcia is going to be my guest, not next week, the following week. I'm waiting to hear back from somebody about next week's spot, but it might just be me, which is fine because I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay alone out here. I was hearing the piano when you gave me the message. She played the piano, Robin. Yeah, I felt it was for you. And then Melissa put that other thing in there. So, but I thank you all so much. Many blessings to everyone. And I will see you next week. Thanks, everyone. And thanks for the donations and the super stickers and your comments and your time. And I hope you got something from this because that's what my intention is, that you get something from the show. Thank you again. Peace and love. And I think I got a couple of seconds. I'll learn how to sign off on time too. And I said to Tiffany, I'm glad I don't have to run out on a stage. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Ooh, thank you, Marcia.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP. Join our circle of VIPs and receive exclusive access to live stream specials, and other epic perks. You can join the Goldylocks Productions VIP communities either through Patreon or the YouTube community. Join today.